not showing up for their business to escape this life right here. Or I'm just like praying that they're all listening to really good audiobooks. Probably not, but that's okay.
Guys, mute yourself. Okay. Yeah, my husband and I, we actually create our vacations around travel so that we don't have to travel anytime that there's traffic.
It's the worst. I'm like pulling out my hair. I'm surprised I still have hair.
Awesome. Well, I'm just giving everyone a second to join.
Cool.
And I want to, guys, if you're just joining, just make sure to mute yourself. There's a lot of background noise. Okay. Awesome. Well, I'm excited. It's been a while since we've heard from you, Josh.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. And so thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be here with us this evening and rush through traffic to get home to be on this Zoom with us. But I'm just going to let you guys take it away. And if you guys haven't, I'm sure he'll tell you about it. But if you haven't checked out Josh's website, he has Art of Recruiting. Highly recommend if you want to get better at learning how to recruit and how to find coaches for your business. His Art of Recruiting is incredible. I know Jack did his Art of Recruiting last year. You guys all know who Jack is. And she signs up usually a minimum of 10 coaches a month. So it's definitely, if you implement, that's the important part, right, is implementation of it. And he has other things that he offers there on his website as well, but that's the one that I'm familiar with. So I'll just let you take it away, Josh.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Will you do me a huge favor and just hit mute all and then unmute me? Because I think there's still a couple that are not muted. I'm hearing like their little feedback and stuff. My ADD will kick in.
For sure. I don't know why it's not letting me mute all though.
That is weird.
Hold on. Let's see. There we go. Got it. Okay. There we go. We're good.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so I've got 40 minutes to speak, which is the shortest I've ever spoke in my life. So I'm going to have to condense this by like 1/20th of what I would normally say. But thanks, Christy, for having me on the call. I love your guys' team. Tons of you I know have been through my groups. Got to spend a lot of time with a lot of you. So it's always fun to circle back around to the teams who have already done stuff with me. Some of you I know are probably new, don't know who the heck I am. So real brief intro, not to take too much time. So my name is Josh Coates. I'm a push coach. Technically, I'm a certified member of the John Maxwell team. I've kind of created this thing that I call push coaching, which is kind of life coaching with I also kick your ass twist to it, where basically I got sick and tired of talking about feelings and why people weren't performing. And so I added this push element, which is basically I'm going to get in your face and make you do things. It's one thing to talk about why we're not doing things, and sometimes that's needed. It is. It's another thing to actually make the decision to do something. And so what I kind of specialize is taking personal development, adding this like push to it, and turning it into something practical that you can actually use in your business. So tonight I'm actually going to do something where I want to break down a phrase that Beachbody has actually created. It's one of the greatest phrases ever made, and it's what this entire company is built around. And even though I'm not technically a part of Beachbody, because I work with so many Beachbody coaches, I'm constantly trying to take what Beachbody has already given you and present it to you in a new way, because I feel like Beachbody has done a phenomenal job. In fact, literally everything I do is based off of what Beachbody has already set up for you on your health and fitness journey. And what I'm constantly doing is copying what they've done that works so well for health and fitness and turning it into the business side of things, which is why at the beginning of this year, I added a health bet concept to all of my training groups, because the health bet has had more people showing up than ever before in challenge groups. I said, dude, that's my number one problem too, is everybody shows up for week 1 and sometimes even week 2, but by week 3, it's ghost town. So I added a health bet concept and a tracker app to my training groups. And since I've done that, results are literally being used to. There was, yes, people like Jackie who would take my group, Ashley Smith who would take my group and just blow up afterwards. But that was really only like 10% of the people that were doing the training. Now it's like 50% of people that are doing the training because the app and the health bet is forcing them to show up every day and put in the work. So this is the tagline that you have all heard. Okay. It comes on every single day when you work out. Maybe you've never noticed it and maybe you've never thought about it the way I'm about to present to you. But here is the 3 words that I want you to write down that we're going to talk about for the next however many minutes I have left, maybe 35 if I'm lucky. These 3 words will change your life. They will change your business. I believe that it is a 3-word intentional process that can change and transform any part of your life that you decide to apply it to. And those 3 words are decide, commit, succeed. Decide, commit, succeed. Here's the thing. Every single one of you on this call wants to succeed. Correct? You wouldn't be on this call. You wouldn't have signed up under Christy if that's not what you all want to succeed. Now, success looks different to all of us, right? For me personally, success looks like this: doing the thing I love, serving the people I love, and making as much money as I want to. To me, that's true success. If I only have one of those 3 things, or even 2 of those 3 things, it's not true success. We have a lot of people on this planet making a lot of money, but they don't sleep good at night because the things they do for those money, either 1, they don't enjoy, or 2, they don't even agree with. Money alone is not enough to be successful because money is just money. Right? Money is just things. And while things are nice, and obviously I enjoy things, I buy lots of things, those things don't make me happy or fulfilled. Those things are just a product of doing the other 2 things well, which is the thing that I love for the people that I love. But we also have this other side of things where we have a lot of people out there doing the thing they love for the people they love and not making anything. And that's also not success. Because how in the world can you possibly consider your life a success if you don't have enough money to take care of the people you love? Just in the last couple of weeks, I retired 2 people from their day jobs because I hired them on full time to work for Team Legacy. Is kind of like what I like to call it. I don't have an MLM team, but one of them is my assistant. He's the kids pastor at my church, and he went from part-time to full-time, so he was able to quit his day job, which gives him, guess what? More time to be the kids pastor at my church because that's a volunteer position. Now he's got more time even for that because he works for me full-time and doesn't have to worry about some other job. The other one was my dad. My dad is now technically my full-time nanny and property manager. He got to retire from a job that he hated, and now my kids get to spend every single day with grandpa. If I don't do the things I love well enough, I never get to contribute to society and the people I care about. I don't get to give money to my church. I don't get to build hospitals. I don't get to build orphanages. I don't get to whatever it is you have on your heart, whatever it is, we all have something in our heart that we want to express into our communities and into this world. And you cannot do that without money, which is why true success to me is doing what I love, serving the people I love, making as much money as I want. Because I need all 3 of those things to be a fulfilled human being who also makes a difference in the world. And I'm guessing that your idea of success looks somewhat similar. I hope that I just challenged your idea of success because you may have thought it was only one of those 3 things. And I hope that I just challenged your concept of success to get a little bit bigger than what it used to be. But whatever success does look like to you, If you are not currently walking in that success, if you aren't currently considering yourself a success, I would be willing to bet it's because you have not fully done the first two steps. We all want success so bad. We all want to have the things that we love. We see the stories. We listen to the National Wake Up Call and hear all the success stories of people doing this awesome thing. We see other people retiring from jobs and going on dream vacations. We all want those things, but the problem is you will never, ever have those things if you are not willing to do the two things that we as humans suck at doing, because it's not fun. We all want the glamour, but the truth is the only way to get the glamour is to do the unsexy things. The unsexy things are making the decision and the commitment. How many of you, other than maybe in a relationship status, have ever heard the word commitment and got warm fuzzies? Now, if you're like talking to your boyfriend, of course, commitment is like your favorite word in the world, right? You want that dude to be committed. But outside of that, let's face it, commitment has a very negative context to it, right? Decision can also sometimes have a very negative context to it. Like, I don't want to have to decide what I want to eat tonight. Like, I just want someone to decide for me. How many of you have like almost got divorced over where you're eating for dinner tonight? Like, how many times has that ever happened, right? Nobody likes to make the decision, or the person who likes to make the decision, you're the person who doesn't like the other person to make the decision because you want. Either way, when it comes to business, it is exactly like your health and fitness journey. If I could just get you to understand that, like literally you would all be top coaches. If you could just understand that the business is just as simple as the fitness journey. And that is that you have to 100% decide what you want. Now, here's the thing, is most of you know what you want, but you haven't made a decision to get it. There's a really, 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 really big difference between wishing for a better life, hoping for a better life, even praying for a better life, and making the decision to have a better life. You see, all of those other words, you are not in control. You have given up your control, which I believe is God's greatest gift to us, is control. I don't know if you're religious. If you're not, it's okay. Whatever, whether you believe in God, the universe, whatever. I think all of us believe that there's something bigger than us working, regardless of what we name that. And the second you say something like, I hope for, I wish for, I'd like to, I want to, what you have done is you have actually given up responsibility for your own destiny, hoping, praying that something else is going to take care of it for you. And while I believe in a greater power, I have proof that this greater power does not work like that. You ready for the proof? You ready for it? Every single night before bed, eat a pint of Ben & Jerry's and see if you don't gain weight. There is this universal law at work. It is called cause and effect. And isn't it hilarious that none of us are stupid enough to eat a pint of Ben & Jerry's every single night before we go to bed and say, well, I'm hoping I lose weight. I'm praying I lose weight. I'm just trusting that things will work out. Oh gosh, I could just slap you across the face if you say stupid stuff like that. Nothing pisses me off more than people using religion as an excuse to sit on their butt and do nothing. Now, for some reason, when it comes to our dreams, when it comes to creating a better life, we love to throw everything off on a higher power like we have no control. And yet none of us are stupid enough to think that our health journey works that way. If our health journey works that way, why would our business not work that way? Why would our relationships not work that way? Why would everything else in life not work the exact same way? There are universal laws put into place this quote changed my life forever. When I first signed up for the John Maxwell team, Paul Martinelli said this. He said, there is no fate. There is only cause and effect. And it literally blew my mind into a million pieces because I grew up in a very religious world where I thought everything depended on fate. What I was doing was I was passing off the greatest gift that was ever given to me, which was my free will. I was passing it off. I was taking no responsibility for where my life was going, where my future was going, because I was trusting in something else to take care of it for me. What I was really doing, now I didn't want to say it this way, and I would have never said it this way, and you would never say it this way because I was way too spiritual to think this way. But what I was really doing was I was playing the lottery with God. Probably never thought about it that way, have you? We use words like trust and hope like there's some positive word. But if you really trusted and you really hoped, wouldn't you make a decision to do something about it? Too many of you on this call, you say, how do you know, Josh? Because I've talked to hundreds of you. I've talked to thousands of you. Your brain works the same way my brain works. Your emotions work the same way mine work. And I've been there before for my whole first year of business. I struggled with the same thing. Too many of you are going, if I get a break, if maybe someone comments on this post, if maybe during Team Cup I find a way to hit Success Club, if, in other words, if one of these things can go in my way, I'll go all in. And that's not how success happens. Success happens when you make the decision to go all in, not knowing what's going to happen this month or next month or even the month after. Because you know what you want, just like when you realize, you know what? I want a healthier life. I want to feel good in my clothes. I want to feel confident and sexy and awesome. So what? Well, let me see first if I just like maybe, I don't know, eat an ice cream sandwich and lose 5 pounds. If I lose 5 pounds after eating an ice cream sandwich, I'm all in. Well, yeah. Most people would be all in if you could lose 5 pounds from eating an ice cream sandwich. I'd have 6-pack abs right now if you lost 5 pounds every time you eat an ice cream sandwich. That's not how it works, is it? The way it works is you realize what you really, really want, and you make the decision right now that that's what you're going to get, that's what you're going to have. One of my favorite books of all time is called Think and Grow Rich. Was Napoleon Hill was commissioned to travel the country and study all of the most successful people in the country to find out what do these people have in common. And if I could sum up the entire book in just one short little paragraph, I would say it this way. The most successful people in the world were not more talented than anyone else. They were not smarter than anyone else. They did not have any natural born gifts. They didn't even have natural money that had been given off to them. They all simply had a way of making a decision to go after the thing they really wanted and never stop until they got it. When I first started my business, I was in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Is this the right thing? I don't know. Maybe it's the wrong thing. Is this the right thing? I don't know. Maybe it's the wrong thing. I'm going to go all in for a week and then back off for a couple of weeks. In for a week. And then, does that sound familiar to anyone? Come on. Raise your hand if you've ever been there. Raise your hand. Come on. Be honest. I've been there. We've all been there. It's okay. When everything changed for me was around month 6. And I said, you know what? I'm all in no matter what. My entire life, I've been in and out. Had several different bands that I played in, had a graphic design business that I started, restarted 4 or 5 times, had my own detail business that I did on the weekends and would start and then let go of and then restart. I had been in and out my entire life. And I said, Josh, for once, we're going to go all the way in and we're not going to stop. And if you still fail, at least for the rest of your life, you'll know you don't have what it takes and you can just go on and live a mundane, crappy life like everyone else. But for once, we're going to go all the way in and just see if maybe you do have what it takes. And you know what I found out? That I did have what it took. I had no idea what I was capable of doing, but for the first time, I just made a decision to do whatever it would take to find out. Many of you are participating in Team Cup right now, and I hope you set some big, crazy, nasty puke goals. That's my saying right there. I wear it on my wrist every day. Let's puke together, meaning set goals so big they make you want to throw up. I hope you've set some huge puke goals for this month. I hope you have some huge puke goals for this whole UK launch that's coming up. But can I just tell you right now, if you haven't made the decision to make it happen, you will fail every single time. Because fate does not have your back. Cause and effect will win every single time. You can test it over and over and over again. If I take my fist and I punch this table, it will hurt every single time, no matter how my fate looks. Cause and effect will happen over and over and over. And regardless of what my fate is, my knuckles are just going to get more and more swollen. Some of you have been beating your head against the same brick wall over and over and over and over and wondering why life hasn't changed. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is insanity. You have to make a decision to change things. No one can change them for you. No amount of trainings can change it for you. No amount of followers can change it for you. No amount of studying the Facebook algorithm. Nothing can change it except the decision you make on the inside that you have the power, that you take on the responsibility to get what you want. So it all starts with a decision. It's the most powerful thing you can ever do in your life. You have to say, this is where I'm at, and this is where I want to be. And I'm making the decision to do whatever it takes to get there. And then step 2 is you have to make a commitment, a full-on commitment to get to whatever that next level is. Here's the problem, guys. I'm a creative type. I'm a big visionary. I love to talk about 5 years from now. I love to talk about what the finished product is going to be like. I hate the steps it takes to get there. I hate it with passion. That's why I have a team. That's why I have 2 assistants, because they're really good. I will literally say things on calls. I'm like, you guys are taking notes, right? Because I'm just going to say a bunch of crap, and I'm trusting that you will make that happen. Because that's my strength, is I can see the future. I can see the big picture. I love, 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 love to have a cup of coffee and go to work at solving the world's problems. I just don't love the process it takes to actually implement those things. But for the first 2 years of my business, I didn't have a team. And guess what I had to do? I had to force myself to commit to those small steps it was going to take to get where I really wanted to be. So you have to decide, this is where I'm at. This is where I want to be. I'm making a decision to get there. And then what you have to do is ask yourself, what is the next place that I need to get to? You can't jump from here to here, okay? You can't. It will not happen. What you have to do is jump from here to here. And then when you get there, figure out a way to get here. And then when you get there, figure out a way. We've got emeralds. Well, we've probably got just coach level people on here. And you've got to commit to getting to the next step, which is emerald. Okay? Set your big goal. Yes, I want to be a superstar diamond. I want to be in the millionaire club. Awesome. Set that, write it down, put it up on your vision board. Do that. But then say, what's the next level I need to get to? If that's emerald, commit to whatever you need to hitting emerald. If you're emerald, maybe you're pushing for diamond. Sometimes people push for ruby, but we kind of like stopped using that word a long time ago. So whatever you need to push for, whatever that next level is. If you're at diamond, hopefully it's 2-star. If you're at 2-star, it's 5 stars. 5, wherever you are right now, you need to commit to getting to the next level. Does that make sense? I call it having a big picture, small picture mentality. You don't want to have one or the other. You need to have both. Too many big picture people forget that there's a small step, and too many small step picture aren't thinking enough about the big picture. Okay? You got to have both. Where do I really want to get to? Okay? Now let's commit to getting to whatever's next. Okay? If you're never hit Success Club before, commit to hitting Success Club, to doing whatever it takes to hit Success Club. And can I just tell you this? I always have to say this because 90% of you still aren't doing it because you haven't taken my Art of Recruiting. You don't have the Health Bet and the app to force you to do this crap. But you have to commit to doing the unsexy things. Number one thing on that list is invites. I know, I see it in your face. I hate invites too. It's the worst part. It's the worst part in the world. Today, I don't have to invite anyone. Today, I speak on awesome calls. I run tons of Facebook ads. I put on my own webinars, and I just show up every single day and do the things that I love. I'm sorry if this is you. I don't even respond to my own emails. I don't even respond to people who comment on my ads. I have people that do that for me. Doesn't that sound glorious? How many of you would love to wake up and live that life? Like, I just do the things that are fun and sexy. The things that are not sexy, I pay someone else to do. But you know what? The first 2 years of my business, I had to do all that stuff myself. I was messaging every Beachbody coach on the freaking planet who had a decent looking profile picture that might be successful. If you had a professionally done profile picture, you were 100% getting a message from me that said something like, hey, my name is Josh. I'm on the John Maxwell team. I work with several different Beachbody coaches, and I'd love to give you a free call and see if there's anything I can do to help you reach your goals. Would you be interested in that? Yes, I still have it memorized because I copied and pasted that so many times to so many people over and over and over, and I hated it, and it made me sick to my stomach every single time because I was scared to death that someone would think that I wasn't genuine, and some did, and that somebody would think that I was trying to spam or scam people, and some did, or that someone might question my motives, and some did. But you know what? For every 10 people that ignored me or said no thanks or never even responded or looked at the message, there was one person who was willing to give me a shot. And I was able to help them take one step closer to achieving their dreams. Now, let me ask you this. This isn't in my notes. This was even planned for tonight. But let me ask you this. How many of you would say, Josh, if I could help one person change their life forever, to be happier, to be healthier, to be more confident, if I could help one person do that, that would be worth having 9 people ignore me and think that I'm salesy. Raise your hand. If you could change one life, is that worth it? You know what your problem is? You forgot about the one person because you're too worried about the 9. You forgot that there is one person out there right now that is on their couch, scrolling through their news feed, hoping, wishing, praying, doing all the stuff that I said at the beginning that doesn't really work if you don't make the decision, but that's all they know. That somebody, somewhere, somehow can help them because their life is a wreck, their emotions are a wreck, their hormones may even be a wreck, they're depressed, they haven't been confident in 12 years. Had someone just literally a week ago that said, you know, up until they lost weight, that she said these words. She said, for the first time, I can look in the mirror without hating myself. Guys, that's reality for most people. Most people wake up every single day and hate themselves just looking in the mirror. Imagine, and some of you are still there. Imagine how hard that is to go clothing shopping. It's kind of tough to do without looking in the mirror. Imagine how hard it is to wash your face. I hear women have to do that frequently. I do it never, but I hear women have to do that. Imagine how hard life is if you can't even look in a mirror without hating yourself. We have probably 90% of the population living their lives like that every single day. Cover your kids' ears if they're around, because I feel some like bombs about to drop, and I apologize, but it's going to happen. I can feel it. We have 90% of Americans living their life like that. And you won't even send them a message because you're so fucking scared of what someone's going to think about you. Now let that soak in for a second. You are so worried about you that the rest of the world is crying themselves to sleep. You have the solution and you're just sitting on your ass doing nothing with it. And because you want to feel better about yourself, you change the colors on your profile picture. You change your cover photo once a week. You do all of the things that are easy to do, hoping that they will make your business take off. The real truth is you know what to do and you're just not doing it. You're finding every single way you can to get around doing the only thing that matters. And then you're getting mad at Christy and other people that your business isn't taking off because you're not willing to take ownership for your own success, because you're not willing to take responsibility for the world that needs your help. I finally decided I don't care what 9 people think out of me. If I can help one person change their life forever, that's worth it. And that's what a leader does. A leader takes responsibility for the change they want to make in the world and stops worrying about the people who don't want to change it with them. That's a great leadership principle for those of you that are trying to lead teams. Stop worrying about the 9 coaches that don't want to work the business and get fired up about the one who does. Stop spending all of your time and all of your energy trying to motivate the 9 people who never respond, who never show up, and for once embrace that one person on your team that is so fired up she'll do anything with you. Stop focusing on the negative and embrace the positive. If you want to be successful in life, you have to decide what you really want, and you have to make a commitment to do whatever it takes to get there. If that means waking up early, that's what you do. If that means staying up late, that's what you do. If that means working through your lunch, that's what you do. And when you cannot find the motivation, which by the way, motivation is BS, when you can't find the motivation to show up and make the sacrifices you need to make, do me a really big favor and look at those little ones you're holding in your arms. And the next time you say you're too busy, I want you to look your children in the eye and say, I am so sorry I did not build a better life for you. There was just too many shows on TV that I needed to keep up with. There were just too many filters on Snapchat that I needed to play with. There were too many people going live on Facebook that I just couldn't get enough of. You know as well as I know, we all have 24 hours. And if you don't have time for your business, it's just because you aren't willing to sacrifice the things that make you feel good. Just like everyone can be healthy, it's just that some people aren't willing to make the sacrifices. Some people would rather eat potato chips, than have some Greek yogurt, whatever it is. Some people would rather eat Ben & Jerry's than have some Shakeology. Whatever that looks like, we are all capable of the same results. It's just that some people aren't willing to make the sacrifice it takes to get those results. If you don't have the results you want, no one else is to blame. It's all on you. 100%. I personally had no one to learn from about building a virtual business. Everyone on the John Maxwell team, I got 2 minutes to close this out. Everyone on the John Maxwell team was building corporate businesses where they went into corporate businesses and spoke for the management team and sold these big 6-figure contracts to come in and coach the leaders. Nobody wanted leadership training from the dude who had been playing in rock bands for the last 10 years and detailing their wife's minivan. But I had made a decision that this is what I was going to do. So I was committed to finding the way that would work. And that took me to the internet, to messaging every freaking person on the planet and making it happen. And now I have a business that everyone else on the John Maxwell team reaches out to me, says, what do you do? Like, how'd you do that? I mean, I don't really know. I just had to make it up. I made a decision. That's how I did it. So since I have less than a minute, I don't know how many seconds. Thank you guys for hopping on. Make that decision, make that commitment, post in the team page. Christy, can you make a post asking people what decision they're making, what it is they need to commit to? And I'm going to message you. I didn't have time to do this before. I'm going to message you a coupon code for the all new Art of Recruiting just for your team. I completely revamped it, completely relaunched it. It's got like 4 times the content and like 3 times the accountability because of the app and the health bet. It is freaking blowing people's business away. I'm going to send you a coupon code for your team to get $100 off. Okay?
Yeah.
You just post that on the team page.
Cool. Sounds good. I'll look for that, and then I'll post on the team page. I'll tag you. They are fired up. Thank you so much. Someone just messaged, I could cry. Oh my goodness. So I think it's going to cut out, but it's been about maybe a year or a little bit more since we've had Josh on. And Josh, I just want to say, just even from last year, you brought tons of value last year. You have grown so much as a leader, which is so freaking inspiring, guys. It really just, we never stop growing. If you show